Hello, welcome to another episode of Battle Topics. I'm your host Clayton, along with my co-host
Stalk. And for this episode, we're talking about content control. What motivates a battler to battle as often as possible? Do they invest energy towards other battlers more than certain ones? And what happens when things go awry with the footage? Maybe it doesn't come out. Maybe it gets fucked up. Maybe your opponent doesn't show up. There's a lot of variables, especially when you're an active performer. This episode's with Cortez. Cort, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey. So Laughing Suck was touching on, you have been around for a long time. Longevity is the name of the game with you. But with that comes a lot of waves that you've had to ride. You've been at the very top. You've been through the bottom. You've gone through every era. So when it comes to that uphill battle that you've been trying to fight, how have you started to kind of overcome that and prove these suckers wrong, man? Start with that.
To be honest with you, it was a conversation. It was a conversation I had with Clips and DNA. And I had a conversation with him too, but honestly, it was a conversation I had with like Clips, DNA, and Conceited one time. I was just like, I was expressing to them my frustration. You feel what I'm saying? And DNA broke down a lot of things, and there's a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes. And maybe all it takes is one or two mishaps for the fans to turn on you. Understanding that in battle rap, you'll be able to go a lot further and withstand a lot further. It could be anything. It's paying attention to what people think instead of just going out there and just doing what you do. I mean, we come from an era, people like me, I come from an era before the cameras. So I had my own style. I would go up to Harlem where they had Lions Den, or I would go into a Fight Club or whatever, just with my style. I didn't know about other battlers. I didn't know how they rapped. Going there with my style, and for some reason my style was appreciated on a certain level that got me onto the likes of Grind Time and URL and King of the Dot and stuff, right? So now you get a notoriety and you start reading comments. You start going in these Facebook groups and you start listening to what people think and you start changing up your style. And I feel like that was a big thing. Like I genuinely, like, I have so much respect for like Angry Fan and Unbiased Review Chris and people like that. But I feel like Facebook groups are the death of battle MCs, because they get into those groups and then they start listening to those opinions and they start trying to cater and change their styles. And then next thing you know, they're all fucked up and they don't know where they're supposed. Like they don't know what's hot and what's not anymore. Yeah. You understand? Before we just had a confidence because I just knew, like, hey man, I know nobody's gonna rap like me. You know what I mean? If you watch battles like me versus Conceited or me versus SoCon, like those early on days, like I just had a whole different style from everybody else. Some of them you win, some of them you don't. But it was so competitive back then that every style was appreciated. Now it's not only oversaturated, but everyone's trying to sound the same. And it's because people are just not really being original. People now, a lot of these new battle rappers learn how to battle rap watching us. Yeah. We didn't do that. We just knew how to rap. You know what I mean? And that's a big reason why I feel like, now I just said, fuck that. I'm not paying attention to anything no more. I'm just going to rap, and I just paid attention to what got me to where I was. Battles like Holland, battles like Head Ice, battles like Hitman, and those battles like that got me to where I was. And I said, I just need to stick back to my guns and pick the right battles. And I think around the time I battled Sharon, Blackout, what was that, 6 last year? Yeah. And I did, 15 battles? And I can honestly say out of the 16 battles I did last year, 16, besides the Arsenal battle, I felt like my style was completely the same throughout the whole year. Even with the Arsenal battle, I rapped exactly the same. It's just sometimes the crowd's not going to fuck with you. I can accept that because out of the 16 battles, if 15 of them people are saying, yo, he was incredible, and hey, and I just stopped caring. I started doing me, and it's working.
Yeah, and I think that, as Clayton was very rudely trying to say you fell off earlier.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, look, a quick glance at your resume. There's a time period between 2010 and 2013 where you battled maybe roughly a dozen times. And that your resume though in that span is Hitman Holla, Thesaurus, Averb, Disaster, Hollahan, like names. You know, it was a definite. You're clearly very selective with your battles. Since then, from
Yeah.
2013 to 2017, you've battled over 30 times. So you clearly shifted into another gear. And, you know, the names aren't as recognizable. You got, you know, guys like Drugs and Riggs and Tycoon Tax, where the mainstream fan might be like, okay, who is this guy Cortez is battling? So what motivated you to, you know, being a bit more, I don't know if you how selective you were at the time, but going from 6, 7 battles a year to saying like, all right, if you want me on your card, let's fucking do it, and just turning your grind up to 1,000.
Bro, I was broke. Nah, let me stop. I'm just playing.
That's a motivator. That's a good reason.
Yo, that's the biggest motivator. Nah. But I mean, to be honest with you, finances, of course, was very crucial to that, you know. But that wasn't the game. That wasn't the game plan. The game plan was, to be honest with you, it was I wanted to set the bar where I could show consistency and not be so selective. Like I felt like, okay, everyone else is competing. Everyone else in my class is competing, but everyone's only battling maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And at that time, I just told myself, yo, if I can just kill everybody, it's going to be undeniable. You know, I never really thought about I always used to think quality over quantity, but I never thought about, hey, what if I just keep giving them quality battles and it doesn't matter? You know, it can backfire too. And I feel like with me, it kind of backfired as well. It helped me get back into gear, like of battling, like it helped me really find like a style and a you know, like a consistency. But at the same time, things like my battlefield average is completely down because I'll have some battles that are only at like 100K or less. You understand? Then I have some battles that are 1 million plus. So, you know, it fucks up your average. And when you look at that, that helps you for negotiating battles. So in that way, you know, it can ruin your day. It can ruin your you know, your legacy.
Appreciate it.
And you know, sometimes, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the fans will look at it and they'll sit there and be like, oh man, why is he battling this guy? Like he's washed. Like you understand? So I kind of took heed to that, and I said, all right, I'm gonna get back to being selective. But during that time, I just felt like, hey man, let me just kill everybody and show people that I can be on a certain level. Yeah. But I don't feel like right now in battle rap that's gonna work. I felt like maybe in 2013, 2014, we did that a lot. I think it was me, DNA, Clips, Math. Like a lot of us went on that run. We were taking 4 battles in a month. You know, we racking up some change. You understand? But at the same time, you know, sometimes money isn't the only objective. You know, you want to become great. You want to become a legend. And we all are in our own rights are right there. But, you know, when you have certain names on your resume that no one cares about, especially with these fans, we have brutal fans, bro. Yeah, and they don't care. They don't care. Exactly.
So when you get names like Cortez or Disaster or people like that just like cannot stay away from battling because it's just part of who they are, it's like a constant. It's a constant inner feud with themselves to hit that legend status where it's like, yeah, I know, like being selective and taking like the upper echelon or only performing once a year to make sure that like eyes are drawn to that one performance may get spike views for that one battle, but the hunger inside of me won't let me do that. So people don't recognize that. They look at the numbers and they're like, oh well, he battled so and so on this third party league and that brought his numbers down, when in reality, like the remaining active and stuff like that should count way more than battling once every 2 years and hitting 1 million views in a week or whatever, just off the enigma.
Yeah, because I feel like it's easier. Hey, if I stay away for 6 months and I battle somebody, I can guarantee you that performance for me is going to be like something scary. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's cool. You know, but at the same time, let's look at two battles, right? All right, I had battled this guy named Jay Murder, right? Jay Murder, I battled him 2015 in Orlando, and it was a No Mercy event, and they did it on a new channel. The channel had no more than 50 subscribers. The battle came out terrible. My rounds were crazy for him. You know, the battle came out terrible as in how it was filmed and everything, right? And I won. Yeah, it was a check. I was in Orlando for the weekend. Like what else can you ask for live? But when it comes out, was it really worth it? I don't think that battle was worth it because people looked at that like, yo, look where he's battling. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I seen people say. And why is he battling him? No disrespect to Jay Murder. He's getting his name up now. But at the time, you know, I was probably his first big battle. And then, you know, the battle has maybe 48, 50,000 views. And people are looking at it like, that's terrible. That battle came out a year and change ago. I can crack 50,000 views in one day. But the channel only had like 50 subscribers. You understand? So if you knew that, you would sit there and be like, bro, they got 50,000 views with no subscribers. Okay, that might stand for some. That's my name, you know. But that doesn't show on the bigger scale of things. And then you'll take a battle like me and B Dot, where B Dot is a rising star in battle rap. You know, there's a lot of controversy. He and I had a big back and forth. The battle looks great. The content is great in the battle. And those are the battles I like, where you can learn something from it, not just a bunch of shoot 'em up, bang, bang shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like the battle was one of the best battles out, period, right now. And it's been out for 3 months. And we're not even at 300,000 views. You understand? Yeah. So when do you choose who's the lesser name and is it worth it or not? I feel like the B-Dot battle is worth it. I just feel like that battle should have way more views. You understand? Opposed to something like Jay Murder, opposed to a Jay Murder where I sit there and be like, and I shouldn't even have done that battle. You understand what I did? I paid the rent for the month. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? I went fucking bought weed and fucking partied in a club for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, was it worth it? You know, and that's where I start being selective again, because battle rap fans, they want to see competition, and you know, this is nothing but a competitive sport. So when it's an easy body and you just kill somebody that no one's heard before, they're just gonna watch it one time. But when you're battling somebody like Hitman or Conceited or Daylight or you know, people go back and watch it because they sit there and be like, yo, this battle was incredible. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, we keep watching it. It's barbershop talk. You go to you're in the barbershop, you go to school, you know, you go to work. Yo, did you see this battle? Like, you know what I mean? And that's why our fans love us. So you have to balance it. You know, at that time, I thought maybe, hey, let me just take a bunch of people and I'll benefit. But looking back now, the only benefit I feel like I gained from it is I was able to hone my skills a certain way where I can play around. Like, now I know, like, when I battle somebody, you know what, I can go this route. You know what, with this guy, I can go this route. I know what my strengths are a lot more because I battled so much in the last 3 years. And now I'm me being selective again. I can pick and cherry pick who I want to battle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of rappers, especially, you know, ones like you that date back to grind time and have a bit of a smack resume, you know, are brave enough to juggle oranges in England. So you've clearly done enough. You've done enough to feel comfortable. And I think another reason it's good to be active, and let's just rip the Band-Aid off now and get it out of the way, is sometimes battles don't come out. And I think there's got to be a part of you that thinks, okay, I've battled 12 times in the last month. 10 of them have to come out, you know? Like, what's the worst part about devoting time and energy towards a battle that just, for whatever rhyme or reason, doesn't come out? And while you answer that, what battle do you wish had come out the most that didn't?
Out of mine?
Yeah.
Okay,
I heard you did Lavo's dirty.
I did him filthy. I did him really filthy. Like filthy. Like that will probably be it, because all right, like with Lavos, there was a lot of things going on. First off, I knew Uno for years. right? Now, I'm not, you guys know me. Sometimes people think I have this cocky persona or whatever, because of how I come off. But, I guess when people get to know me, they say, yo, Cole's really cool. Like, I'm really down to earth. I don't care. I don't talk shit. I don't gossip. You know what I mean? I come do my work and chill with everybody, and that's it. But, Uno was, like, trolling me for, like, 2 years. You understand? And then he really had fans believing that he was better than me or like he would beat me. And, that was around a time where everyone was trying to count me out. And they was like, yo, he's just more entertaining than Cortez. There's this thing where people say, oh, Cortez is boring. I think I'm changing it a little bit now, getting out of that stigma. But, people would say Cortez is boring. So I would sit there and be like, yo, I'm going to be humble. I'm not going to let the world know that I will wrap circles around him and do him filthy. But, they kept trolling. And then he got his PG. And he did great in his PG, right? I forget who he battled. Mm-hmm. And they were going crazy. And, when Beasley called me and asked me to battle Uno Lavos, I felt disrespected. I seriously felt disrespected. And I feel like that was like the wake-up call, because that was right before I battled Sharon, and I felt like that was the wake-up call to tell me, like, oh, hell no. Are y'all fucking serious right now?
Yeah.
You're giving him a PG, so you're thinking you can raise his stock, and you think you're going to raise his stock going against me? Not to mention, I'm Latino. I'm probably the biggest Latino in the world in battle rap and in the history. Like, not even to say it like that, but if you really think about it, it's true. So if you sit there and say that he's trying to come for my slot, I'm not really opposed for that. I'd rather take the little bit of Spanish and Latino dudes that we have in this culture and try to build them up, like Loso and Jims. I want to see these guys come up. I don't want to cut them short, and he was just on some shit like, yeah, I'm the best Spanish dude. I'm this, I'm that. And I was like, yo, y'all really think you're going to brand him? Because that's what it is. You putting him up against a vet. You want to brand him so you can build him up. And it was just bad for him. 3 rounds. I mean, bro, I've been on every stage. He's been on every stage, but that URL stage was completely different. As soon as he stepped on, I think he stumbled in his first 4 bars. You understand? Like, the competition, the pressure was on him. I grabbed the coin right out the air and jumped right on his helmet. And that first round smoked the building. You understand? It was the first battle of the night. The fans were lit. I knew all this already. I said, hey, if I'm going to battle him, we're probably going to go first. I'm going to have an attentive crowd. I'm going to go and light that building on fire and see if he responds to it. And immediately he crumbled. You understand? And from there, I just looked at things a little bit different. I was like, you know what, man? No one's going to care who Cortez is unless Cortez cares who Cortez is. Yeah. I can't expect no one else to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, but he had a classic with Hitman. That was fucking 6 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
He had a classic with Holland. That was 5 years ago. I can't live in that. So I have to make my mark and continue to create those moments, especially in battle. Like you said, you're only as good as your last battle. Yeah. So with that, that's the one I wish would have came out, because he asked for it. You understand? And his fans asked for it. And the main thing I told them, and I argue with everybody, I said, so what are y'all going to say if I kill him? All y'all going to do is say, oh, Cole, you were supposed to beat him. And that's exactly what they did, and they swept it under the rug. So I said, damn, y'all trolled me for 2 fucking years. I give y'all what y'all trolled me about, smoke him like I said I was, and now y'all just going to act like it never happened.
And you were motivated. It was like you were proving a point, like after the battle where you walking off stage and pointed at Beasley and were like, don't you ever offer Uno Lavos again. like don't you insult me like that.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly how I felt, Why do you think they gave me Chiller right after? Because I was like, yo, this is crazy. You understand? Like it and the thing is, it hurts me. At the end of the day, every vault battle that Cortez has, Young Ill, Tech 9, Uno Lavos, now B Magic, right? Those are the 4 vaulted battles. I have 50-something battles. I only have 4 vaulted battles. But the persona is like, I can't get a battle to drop. You understand?
Yeah.
And if you really think about that, all right, boom. 4 battles, that's it. Out of 50-something fucking battles?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
I think a big factor
that's not crazy.
It's also, I think, the big reason why it stands out in fans' minds, at least, aside from your opponents bringing it up, is they vaulted 4 big ones. You know, it's not like fans are saying like, "Oh yeah, it's a shame Cortez and Riggs got vaulted." Those are all 4 big names, so it stands out a lot in fans' minds. Like, "Oh, he's getting these big names, and we're never seeing the content from it. What's going on?" But obviously, it's just a fraction of the Cortez library people watch.
But my thing is this though. Then you look at the battles, and I won all 4 battles.
Yeah. Now
I might not even have lost a round in any of those battles. That's the crazy thing. I kind of 3-0'd B Magic, 3-0'd Lavos, 2-0'd Young Ill because there was only 2 rounds. You understand? And Tech 9 I 3-0'd.
Yeah.
You understand? It wasn't like I got killed.
And then people fill in the blanks for themselves on why I got vaulted rather than being able to see for themselves. When it comes to that like transparency with leagues, obviously I've seen battles that I think probably should have got vaulted if we're gonna go that route, but leagues put them out.
Like who, Clayton?
I mean, look, like for example, like let's look
at
the
what battles have you edited that you wish you could have vaulted?
No, none that I've edited. I know which one you're talking about. You're trying to set my ass up, but no, but like let's look at like the Cicero choke for example. Like if they were that
almost got vaulted.
But I'm saying like people would have been talking about it. People would have been filling in their own stories. You know what I mean? Do you think? Obviously, leagues are either trying to do damage control on their league and their brand, that it happened on their stage, or they're trying to protect the battler that they're trying to build up. But the person who did 3-0 him, aka like someone like you who went in and 3-0'd somebody and they were protecting them, whatever motive it is, does that like discourage you from being like, man, why do I put in this effort if it's just going to be for that one-time live performance and these people, it doesn't follow their motive or whatever? And why should I be motivated to work for them or do that again?
Well, I look at it like this. With Uno Lavos, you guys are telling me and begging me to battle him and saying, yeah, Core, it's going to be a good thing if you battle him. And then you're telling me to battle him. You're telling me like, yo, man, it's Christmas. We got a check for you. Yeah, let's do a surprise battle. You know, it'll just cause some more interest. All right, fuck it. Let's do it. But then you can't say, well, you know, this didn't really turn out the way we wanted it. I don't care. I didn't want to battle him. Y'all wanted me to battle him. You get what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't do the same thing with Young Ill. When Young Ill came into the situation, a lot of people don't know this. You could tell once he came in the building, there were issues. Something was going on with him. From what I was told and the information I was told, which again, people made their own rumors about him being high. He wasn't high and drunk. That he was going through some other shit. Then you understand? Some life shit.
Personal
he came
stuff,
in with a beard. And my whole thing was, I do not want to get this Young Ill. And I said, let's not battle. And Beelan was like, nah, nigga, we're going to battle. We want you to battle, but he's only got 2 rounds.
Yeah.
He's only got 2 rounds.
But even then, shouldn't the fans be able to decide for themselves rather than the league telling you like what you can and cannot see?
I'll be honest with you, Young Ill was a very terrible battle. I mean, the mics went out in the middle of in the middle of a 2-round battle. The mics went out, and it was about a 15-minute delay in between the battle. Like after the first round, it took 15 minutes before we could even get the mics ready for me to start. The building was dead. It just took the whole energy away, like completely. It like really fucked up.
Yeah.
A lot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that wasn't going to come out. But my whole thing was, then, nigga, throw me a bone. Throw me get me something that I want, or let's do the rematch. Let's do it right. You understand?
Yeah.
Because it hurts my brand. It has people thinking, there's certain people that said they didn't want to battle me because they wasn't sure if their footage is going to drop. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm a bigger name than you. You feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about people that are like on the come up that are like trying to raise their stock. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You can't have somebody dictate that. I'm the veteran. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, That's how I come at it. I'll be like, yo, I'm doing you the favor.
Yeah. You know what I would do? You know what I would do if I was a battle rapper? What I would do is I would pay Cortez.
You are a battle rapper.
I would pay Cortez X amount of money to battle me. and I would pay X amount of money for it to never come out. Because you know why? I bodied Cortez. I didn't. He fucking ate my lunch in front of 100 people, but guess what? It never came out. I 3-0'd him. It's a shame you'll never see it. It's like, everyone who lost to someone and it was never seen can run around and say, oh, you should have seen it. I killed him so bad, but you won't. So that stinks. Like, I believe that you beat all these guys. There's reports, and there's still people fucking in the venue. There's still humans watching. So it's believable.
There's still like an IG clip. Yeah, there's like an IG clip. If you went all the way back on my IG, like there's a clip of me and Tech9 in the first round, and I shook the building. I did the razor blade, more plates, razor blade, and I did some shit, and like the whole building went crazy. Like I had a room rocker in the first round against Tech9, some shit like that. So it's created its own story. But as far as the other ones, Tech9 was cool. I'm pretty sure they could drop that and nobody would really like complain about that. You understand? Same thing with Uno. Those two would come out, it'd be cool. I'll be honest with you though, I've taken stuff from those battles and
of course.
and use them in other battles. Even with the B Magic battle, because I know what happened with B Magic too. They when it filmed on a pay-per-view, I argued with them about it. And I told them, I said, listen, man, this is really, really, really going to irk me if this doesn't come out. You guys have mic issues. I just knew that from, my experience on stages. And I said, the audio is going to be fucked up. And my audio was good, but B Magic's wasn't. He was basically...
So you knew it was going to be vaulted before the event was even over?
Man, we argued. The event started a little bit late because we was talking. And they actually went after our battle and bought a mic piece.
Wow.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, fuck. And I just sat there and I said, you guys have to understand me. Like, I really make it an issue when I speak to these league owners or whoever, like, guys, please make sure I'm taken care of as far as my footage, because especially with me, it's just something with me where I need to make sure my footage comes out and it comes out a certain way just to erase that stigma, and a lot of leagues understand that now. They be like, nah, cool. I don't go first. I don't usually go first at events. So, usually I'm able to tell already which mic is best, what side is better. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be able to tell that. But, in that situation, it was only like 4 battles. It was all, you know what I mean? So it was like, I don't really want to go first with B Magic. And it wasn't even my audio. It was Magic's audio, But, to each his own. It doesn't bother me anymore. It's just a matter of I just make sure my shit is correct. When I get it, I just have to worry about me. I can't worry about nothing else.
Touching back on something you mentioned, both in terms of battles that didn't come out and how active you are, I totally think it's okay to reuse lines from vaulted battles in future battles, because obviously you put time and energy towards writing it. You don't want anything to go to waste. I remember, I want to say it was Pat Stay versus Shotty Hara. It happened. People thought it was never going to come out. So Pat reused lines from the Shoddy battle. I can think it was against Math. We both battled Ice, the Wolf, which is like you because you flow backwards type thing. Because he thought the Shoddy battle was never going to release. And I want to give you credit because you are insanely active. And people aren't on a witch hunt to see if you recycle every other battle. There's dudes like, that have dropped the same mixtape verses in 4 battles and did it on Sway and did it in a Team Backpack Cypher. And you battle quite often. And
I
it's
do
not
all
like,
those things too, the Sways, the music, the Cyphers,
absolutely.
all like,
and it's not like, Cortez used the baby mama line for the 5th time. It's like, nah, if it happens, it happens, but you don't have a bag that you pull from every 6 weeks, which is commendable.
I mean, I take a pride in that. I take a pride in the pen. I take a pride in consistency. You understand? Like, that's one thing I feel like I always have over a lot of people. I'll be like, man, I battled Sharon, Chilla Jones, and I did the 2-on-2 with Math all in the span of 3 weeks. You know what I mean? It's not like it's regular people. I battled QP Sons, Enes, and Big K and Drugs and Riggs all in 2 months. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you were touring last year too.
Yeah, I did 3 tours last year. So
And
it
you
was
live
like,
in New York.
Yeah. So I had to travel everywhere. That's another thing. Every battle wasn't a home game. The only time I battled at home last year was against Chilla and the 2-on-2 with URL. That was it. I didn't battle in New York at all out of those other 16 battles. So, I take pride in that. You feel me? And I just look at it like when they look back at it, then maybe the fans will sit there and be like, yo, how did we not appreciate him? I look at it like that, like, yo, how did we take this for granted? Because especially now, the way battle rap is going, the way these guys carry themselves, I don't see the love for it or the importance that they, like the big love that they have for the game. You know what I mean? The same way that we did, or the pride that we take in it.
Well, and on top of that, like the perception that fans have of you, what is the one thing that you would like to get through their head at this point in the game with all the stuff that you've accomplished within the last year? What's the one thing?
And I feel like the one thing that I would, it would have to be just appreciating the fact that I can touch on any stage and connect with them. Like, I don't feel like, let's say Ilmac. Let's take Ilmac. Ilmac is one of my favorites. But he wouldn't translate well on the URL stage, let's say, per se. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just saying a lot of people would sit there and be like, he belongs on the King of the Dot stage. Now, for me, I can go and give you a classic against Holohan where I'm getting super personal and aggressive, and I'm by myself in a different country. And then I can still go to URL and be with 30 niggas from Brooklyn and give you that street hood feel against someone like a Hitman, or you get what I'm saying? And then I can go and even do something like the B-Dot battle and give you like some knowledge and switch it up. And I feel like there's very, very, very few people that translate that well in every aspect, especially with battle rap. You understand? And I also try to push it where battle rappers can make music and make certain moves and do these tours and we have our own lane. And I'm trying to prove that to people, like, yo, man, we have our own lane. We don't need the industry. We don't need nothing. We have something here that hip hop has to take acknowledge of us. They have to acknowledge us. But I wish I could just be that ambassador that would, like, like tell the game, like, yo, look, guys, we have something here that we're fucking up, and I feel like, that's the one thing that like, I feel like it's holding us back. You understand? We have no unity with that. So with that being said, those are the one things I want to change. I want it to be where it's like we have a union or something where it's like, yo, man, let's stick together. Yo, you belong here. We belong on these stages. Let's all translate well together, and let's all push the culture, because I feel like we stopped pushing the culture. Everyone now is their own brand, and that's why I feel like it's falling off. And that's the one thing I would want to control. You understand?
Put some respect on your name.
Totally off topic.
I think the reason this should be the first question is we've already had a few requests for it, and I don't know how long this answer is going to take. But when we were talking to fans on Talkback, what should we ask Cortez, Michael Marshall, and Clayton, and a number of people have already mentioned, is it the Raekwon story?
Oh yeah. Whenever you did we did the watch episode at South by Southwest with A Ward Street. You know what I'm talking about, the Pat verse Mar. Well, our footage cut out at the very end, but you were talking about, I believe it was the Head Ice battle that you did, and talking about how you got jerked and all that. And a lot of people got like invested in this story right before it faded out. So if you could like kind of just run that back for them.
What is the story?
Well, the story is this, right? All right. We had, me and Ice was set for Lions Den. It was supposed to be for HBO. That was the whole thing that Lux promoted for us. Me and Ice were the headlines that night. Cool. A lot of people were familiar with me, but Head Ice was the clear favorite. Head Ice was the biggest battle rapper at the time. You understand? He's still a few, but at that time, he was probably the biggest in the world. You understand? So for me, I looked at it like, hey, this is my one shot to really, really, really leave a mark in the game. At the same time, I had to battle Ice in the middle of Harlem. We get in Harlem. Everybody's there. I got my Brooklyn dudes. They came up there with me, but you know, the building was there for Ice. You understand? People knew I was good, but they didn't expect Ice to. They didn't expect what I came with. Of course, we all seen the battle. Great battle. You know, that was one of my best performances. 4 rounds. Even though if you look on the YouTube, the 3rd round's not out. Third round is only out from the outside footage. You know, cops had to put barricades in the middle of Harlem, and they put the TV screen in the middle of the street, and just, you know what I mean? And people were watching it standing there in the middle of the street while we was battling inside the store. So it was a great feeling. You know, those are the type of things you can't duplicate. But then Big Daddy Kane walks in, Rakim walks in, Styles P walks in, Raekwon walks in, Kid Capri, Redman. Now I'm like, oh shit, like this is hip hop royalty. Yeah. You understand? Watching this battle. I went all out, you know, and you know, I'm talking all the street shit, and I'm you know, I'm doing what I do. You know, you don't know where I'm from. And you know, Ice had this swag or whatever and this believability, and I respect it and all that. But Ice met me on a couple of occasions before that. So he, you know, there's a street respect there. Not even saying we did any business streetwise, but you know, real recognize real. You could tell. You understand? So the shit that I'm talking about is relatable. When they do the judging, if you watch the judging, they all start saying, "Oh, we going with Ice. We going with Ice." A lot of people say, "Oh, it's because you dissed the judges." I don't feel like it's because I dissed the judges at all. I feel like it's simply because they didn't believe me. And I feel like in hip hop at that time, people have to believe you. You know, it was a believability factor that was very, very important. And because I was a new face,
that's gone now.
You know, it's gone now. But because I was a new face, I feel like people looked at that like, man, who is this nigga saying nigga? He's saying the word nigga. He's over here disrespecting. Like, he's talking crazy. And, you know, I feel like people were looking at me like I was frauding. And if you look at how the judges were, Raekwon goes and says, "You rap like that? You rap like that? Yo, but do you rap like that?" She got me tight. I'm going to keep it a buck. You feel me? I got tight. And I was like, yo, what you mean? You know what I mean? And my peoples felt the way too. Like, niggas was like, yo, boy, like, what you mean do we rap like that? Like, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't know if you know where I'm from or anything. But, you know, I'm a new face. So they don't know. They could have thought I was from fucking White Plains for all they know. You understand?
Yeah.
But I was, you know, I felt a certain way, and I felt like they didn't give me that battle because they said they didn't believe me. You know what I mean? Because Raekwon was like, stay in your lane.
Damn.
You understand? He's like, yo, but stay in your lane. And it pissed me off, you know? And, you know, we had words after the battle. I'm not going to get into that story. That's a whole nother story. You understand? But it left a mark and it left a distaste, you know? So then fast forward a year later, when I step on stage and I'm battling Holohan, and they introduce me, "Hey, y'all, it's the kid Cortez. Toronto, we're shaking." Yeah. Hey, Holohan, after his return from 1 year, building goes crazy. And then Organic looks at me and says, "We got a special host. Raekwon the chef is in the building." I'm like, oh my fucking God. Are y'all serious right now? Like, you got Raekwon here. I'm battling the whole Toronto. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, this is gonna turn out bad for me. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So it's
for sure.
It's a funny thing. I was gonna freestyle something and say something. Cause remember, back then King of the Dot battles were judged.
Yeah.
And we had a little dispute over that, and I was like, hell no, I'm not doing a judge battle. And I always said I go back to that Ice battle. I'm not doing it. You understand? So then I'm like, man, y'all wanted me to do a judge battle where Raekwon was in the building? Fuck no. Hell no, like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you're ever on trial, one of the jurors is gonna be Raekwon, guaranteed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like I get charged for a murder, and Raekwon comes in, he's like, oh, okay. But you know, I will say this, ever since that day, because actually after I battled Holohan, the very next day I flew back and I had a show at SOB's in New York. And come to my surprise, Raekwon was at that show. And Raekwon came, bring me on stage before I got on and shouted me out and was like, yo, I'll never doubt you again, bro. Like that was so real to me. Like the nigga was like, yo, like that was crazy. Like I'll never forget that day. As much as hip hop as he has in his life, that day against Hollihan, he will never forget that. You understand? And he was like, I changed his opinion about who he thought I was. And for me, that was enough to be like, man, like you get what I'm saying? Like, wow. You know what I mean? For him to sit there and be like, yo, bro, that's a memory for him.
Yeah.
As much as he's seen in the game, I said, all right, boom, we buried that. But at the time I was just like, man, I do not want Raekwon anywhere near one of my battles. You understand? So, it happens like that. It happens like that.
Yeah. This is a little bit off topic, but it kind of like comes full circle at the end. Right now, especially after your Blackout 7 performance, your name is very much in the conversation for very much.
I need new jewelry.
Yeah, very much in the conversation for the chain. Now you and Head Ice have already gone down, like you just explained. But more than that, is that even something that you'd be interested in?
As far as Ice go, we've had that conversation. I think it's crazy. I think it'll be the best story build up in battle rap, and I think it'll shake things up right now. I mean, think about it. The last time he and I both had a judge battle before Roan was him and I. That was probably the last time me and him both did a judge battle. You understand? You look at shit like that, there's a whole backstory to it. Oh yeah, they jerked Cortez, but also at the same time, that was my real breakthrough. You understand? Ice can sit there. Ice is the OG. Ice sits there and says, yo, I made you. I'm daddy. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, It's a whole different storyline to it. You understand? I was one of the judges in the battle for Roan and him. You understand? A lot of people are controversial about that decision. It's a whole bunch of shit that you could put into it. And I'm big on the backstories. I'm big on the battles that are making sense, especially in this day and age. And as far as me also being capable for the chain, I think I've beaten 5 ex-champs. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you look at it like that, who else? Like, people say Thesaurus, but I'm not even knocking Thesaurus, but Thesaurus isn't doing like I'm coming for people's necks. You get what I'm saying? I'm coming for people's necks. And he and I, we would have to revisit each other too. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've battled him too. So you look at it like that, like there's a whole bunch of like interesting backstories and things that just make so much sense. And I think that's the only way we can push the culture. So it's like, Ice, man, like, I mean, he's looking good with the jewelry right now, but let's see what happens.
We gotta get you in. Man. We gotta get you in on one of those hotel battles with J Pro next Cali.
I'm telling you right now, I'm ready. I want Laughing Stock to be my partner. I don't want J Pro. I want Laughing Stock to be my partner.
No, yeah, we got a glimpse of you in that.
Yeah, in the hotel battle.
Laugh Hopper and Cortez. You're gonna make them laugh, and I'm gonna bore them the whole battle. That's what we're gonna do. Laugh Hopper and Cortez.
That's the team. That's the team nobody knew they wanted and still don't. No, if you watch that battle,
the crying laughing face, we're gonna have the crying laughing face.
It's like laugh now, bored later. But no, if you look at the comments on the YouTube video for the battle, at one point somebody comments, "Is that Cortez at timestamped whatever?" And if you click it, it goes to you in the room watching the 2-on-2, going, "Yeah, like yo, this shit is weird."
It's like you're totally... like you were lost and you somehow ended up in this like weird trap.
It looks like you woke up in the room and there were just shit going on around you. What is going on?
Yeah, I was looking for everybody in the hotel. This is crazy because I'm looking for everybody in the hotel. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. I didn't know where everybody was at. I was hungry. DNA says, "Hey, just come to this room real quick, and then we're going to go eat." I'm thinking I'm going to DNA's room. I walk in, It's a fucking 2-on-2 battle going on. I'm like, I want to go fucking eat. What the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, shit. All right, boom. Let me get my cameo at least. Get these views up real quick. You know what I mean?
Verse Tracker. Put them on. Verse Tracker.
And if that's not a reason to attend a battle rap event or become a battle rapper, I don't know what is.
Now, what is?
And that's a testament to Cortez, you being everywhere, man. You are an intrepid traveler, and your resume is absolutely insane.
Appreciate that.
Wait, before we go, Cortez, we should do this for everybody, by the way. Plug your social media, and where can we buy your albums?
All right. Cortez_HSP. That's the Instagram. That's the Twitter, and my Snapchats are hilarious. That's where I'm just cracking jokes. If y'all want, man, 16's and Better Part 2 is out right now. I got the single with Method Man called The Classic. Hell Rel's on it. Terminology. Tay Rock is on it. So it's a Hollows on it. It's a list of MCs. It's a great joint. You guys can get that everywhere. Apple, Spotify, anything, man. Just support me with the music, or just DM me, or just hit me up, and I'll send you guys the links, man. I just appreciate everything. Thank you.
Dope. Perfect.
And the Method Man video will be dropping. The Method Man video will be dropping around the time of the Daylight battle. So once that battle drops, I'm dropping the video.
That's smart marketing.
Hell yeah.